It's weird now, like, where does my money go? Because back then, even if there wasn't anything out, I still felt like I'm here, I should buy something, you know, and I would buy the craziest stuff.
Like, I don't know what this is, but it's issue number 1. I have to have it.
It's good enough for me. If it's good, I'll get issue 2.
Yeah. I have a lot of issue 1s, but not a lot of issue 2s.
I have a couple that never made it to issue 2.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, there's our cue.
Hey, how's it going?
Director. Hi, we're on the air.
How you doing?
There should be like a sign.
I know.
I heard we can pick those up. There's like a dozen of them for like $10.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sweet, we're gonna get clackers.
I have one, but I forgot it again.
You always forget it. I want to write the silliest stuff on there, you know, like the mongoose chases the wind or something. I don't know.
Scene 2.
That's right.
Take 6. Why can't they get this mongoose to chase that guy?
They're so testy.
So you might have noticed that Peanut's not here with us today. He's fine. He sends us love. He's evidently got something much better to do than hang with us in the basement.
We will miss him. But he'll be back like next week, so whatever.
This one's for me. This one, off camera because I'm not really going to pour it, is for Peanut.
Oh, and this one's Liz. We're getting back to the old school. And because Peanut always eats when he's on camera, I'm going to take up that mantle today. Yes, Peanut, I'm fat, and it's all your fault. So today we're going to talk about, we're actually going to have a little more structure than usual because
Peanut's not here.
Yeah, pretty much, because we miss Peanut. I'm going to try my best to interject with the most oddball things that I can come up with. Nothing from Himalaya, though, so I don't know. You'll have to ask him about it. So we're going to start off with what we really wanted to talk about, how to get back into comics. So
about a week ago, one of my good friends on my MySpace page, Tasha, who used to work with Dave and Peanut, said she loved the show and she liked watching us, but when we started to get into the comic book stuff, got a little lost because she hasn't read comic books in a long time. So she wrote me and asked me, as you know, somebody who reads as much comic books as I do, what she can do or what somebody can do to get back into comic books after not reading them at all or not in a long time. And she also mentioned too that she has a little boy who she would like to give comic books to, which I thought was super. Anytime a parent wants their kids to read anything, but especially like comic books, that's awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a whole industry that they can explore with, and it all starts with great stories and great art, which is easy to get into to begin with. You know, it's like cartoons you can read. Kids love cartoons. I mean, I'm a kid. I love cartoons. There you have it. But
and a lot of parents forget. You know, they see their kids reading a comic book, they think it's silly, but they're forgetting they're reading. You know, if the kid's picking up anything and reading it, that's super in my book. I can't stress that enough.
Oh yeah, and there's a lot of good stories out there too.
Yeah, which I think was my first point. If you know you'd like to get back into comic books, first thing you want to think about is like what kind of comic books do you think you would like? Because there's a lot more out there now than there was even 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a much broader range than just the spandex superheroes. You know, we've almost, I would almost say, mimicked the Japanese culture of comics. We don't have it to the point where there's a comic about every little thing. Like, I think the weirdest one I ever saw was a soccer player in high school. There was an entire like 86 book series of the soccer player in high school. We don't go that far.
Yeah.
No, but there is a lot of good stuff though.
Yeah, if you can find it in like a video, if you can find the genre in a video store, you can find it in a comic book store, because there's the classic spandex superheroes, but there's horror.
Oh God.
Horror's exploded, like with the Freddy books, the Jason books, the current Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, which seriously, if you liked Freddy versus Jason versus Ash is the sequel, with Ash from Army of Darkness in there. Great book.
Everybody loves them too.
Oh, everybody, yeah. But there's science fiction books like Star Trek and things like that.
Oh, the Star Wars has so many.
Oh, yeah.
So many. There's characters created just for the comic books. One of which we actually met at Pack Rat Comics. He's a really cool guy. I never met a Jedi before. I mean, he is seriously in the comic books, a character who is a Jedi. You know?
Justin.
Yeah, Justin really he is a Jedi.
Nice.
It's pretty awesome to actually meet a real life Jedi. You know, I think he's more Jedi than
Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
That'll go on his tombstone too. I was more of a Jedi than Mark Hamill.
it's gonna be Justin's quote on his MySpace. You know? Dave says I'm more Jedi than Mark Hamill, and it's true.
But, once you get an idea, go to your local comic book store. Probably better off going to the comic book store than like Walden Books or someplace like that that doesn't really care.
Yeah, I bought my first comic book at a Remore bookstore. They had no idea they even had them.
Hey, where'd you get this at?
It was number 1 too. I went back to get number 2. They didn't have it. That's how I found the comic book store.
But yeah, look around. I mean, most decent-sized cities will have a comic book store of some capacity. Just go to your local comic book store and talk to your clerk. I know, you know, thanks to The Simpsons, the comic book store guy has gotten a bad reputation as being the uber snob, you know, discards anybody that doesn't own 1,000 comic books and stuff like that. But Dave here used to, you know, him and Peanut both used to work at the Comic Connection, and
all the good days, yes. But I
all the
mean,
good
we
days.
were there to get you to read a comic book, you know, and because like you said, there's as many genres as there are movies. You know, it's real easy to find the one you're looking for. What movies do you like? That's the first thing we would ask people. Well, what's your favorite movie? And then we would find a comic book that's really close to that. And the local clerks now are even better than that now, because they actually, you know, now the internet's huge. There wasn't so much back then. It was getting there, but now that it's so huge, you can find just about anything, and he can order you just about anything.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't take long if you order stuff too, and you know, picking up a new series isn't that big a deal either. You know, he can tell you what he's been reading, what the other guys have been reading, what people coming in have been reading. You know, and he's there to sell you a comic book. You know, he's there to help you find what you need.
yeah, I mean, most people aren't scared to go up to a video store clerk and ask them for a movie, but they won't ask a comic book store clerk for a comic book, because just the whole bad stereotype that's out there about your, you know, oh, worst issue ever, you know, that guy, you know. Then you got to really realize that, you know, especially in smaller towns like where we're from, I hate to make it sound like this, but it is a business. They want your business, and they would rather spend that extra 5 minutes with a customer who will come back to the store later than to pull the, you know, snob card and...
Yeah, and kick you out for being a noob.
Yeah.
It's not helpful at all, and it's not likely to ever happen. You know, it's, you know, the biggest way that comic book owners get their money, you know, is by selling books. And books are monthly too, so if he can get you onto a series that you really like, you're going to keep coming back. You know, and then you're going to probably find another series that you like until you're like Mike, our producer, who's buying like half the store every week. You guys, have you even caught up to what you've bought?
I read them every week.
Okay.
I have a ritual. It's my thing. I buy my books. I didn't get to today because I had to work, but I buy my books on Friday. I kick back with a nice cup of coffee. Saturday morning in the lounge chair, I read my books. They're bagged and boxed by Sunday. And it's just, you know, I get every, you know, little bit out of them. That's just my little, you know, my routine. That's what I like to do.
Yeah, my routine's a little different. Peanut comes by with some money and a comic book, and he's like, here you go, now leave me alone. And then I take a break, eat some food, and read a comic book.